All right, last question, 11. Diego arranges the students in his math classroom shortest to tallest and measures the height in inches of each student in the class. Complete the histogram using the data for the 27 students in his class. Start with 58 and count by 3. The graph is already set up for you, so 58, and then we're counting by 3. So we just need to figure out how high that needs to go. So when we're drawing from 58 to 61, 61 is not counted in this one. So we're like 60.9, yes, but 58 to 61 is only going to go in that set. So 58 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 would go in that one. So there's 8 for that one. So I'm going to draw that 8 high. And then draw it going down. So now it's starting at 61. Make this go a little bit. There we go. So now the next one's starting at 61. It's going up to, but not including 64. So when I do this, I'm going to start with 61 and go up to 63, basically. Let me pick a different color. So 62, 63, 63. So there's only 3 on that one. So then when I draw this one, I'm starting it at 3. Then I'm going down to 64. Now the next one is going from 64, 65, and 66. It does not include 67. So then when I'm looking at this, I want to grab the green. I'm starting at 64 and stopping before I get to 67. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not including 67. So this is also 8. So I'm going to go back up to 8. I remember these should be touching, then they should all be even sizes. That one's kind of not an even size. So let me make it look a little bit more even there. All right, and then 67 is going to start my next one. And I'm going up to 79, but I'm not including 79. So 67, or 69, sorry, 67, 68, 69, 69, 69. I'm not including 70. Sorry, I said that wrong. So that's 5. So the last line is 5. So it's going to go up to 5. Sorry, that should have been straight. All right, and then the next one is going from 70 to 73, but we're not including 73. We're only including up to 72. So there is none for that one. So I'm just going to leave it blank. Don't erase it. Don't put a little line on it. It just stays blank. And then the last one is 73 to 76. So then I'm going to count up until 76, but there isn't anything after that. So I'm just going to count the last 3. 1, 2, 3. So then this one's going to be 3 as well. I'm going to follow it over here. And it's going to be 3. Over here, there we go. And then don't forget to shade it in. Everything else is already filled in for you, like the labels and stuff, except for the label on the left-hand side, the y-axis, and that would be frequency. Frequency. All right, so that's our histogram. Now it says to find the center, spread, and shape. Remember, we always want to start with shape because the shape tells us what kind of center we want. So the shape, I would say, is bimodal. So we got 2 modes. It goes a little bit like that and then back down. All right, so we have 2 modes. So I would say bimodal. Since it's bimodal, that means that we're going to use our mean because we only use our median if the data is skewed. So the center. Oops, there we go. The center would be the mean, which means that we need to add it all up and divide by the number of numbers. So I actually already had typed this in just to save us time. So I typed in all those numbers. Just make sure you type it in accurately. You get that, and then we're going to divide it. And they tell us that Diego has 27 students in his class, so we're going to divide it by 27. So then the mean would be 61.963, 61.963 inches. It would be helpful on your test if you do this, that we can give you partial credit if you give us the parts that you use to get that. So like tell us that you did 1673 and that you divided that by 27. Right, and then the spread would be the highest minus the lowest. So the spread is 74 minus 58. which is equal to 16 inches. All right, then numbers, or letter C says to make a box plot of those information. So we still use the same heights that we've had. So the min we said was 58, the max was 74. So min 58, max was 74. The median, now we need to find the median would be the middle number. If we have 27 people to split into 2 even teams, that won't work. Somebody needs to sit out. So then I need to have 26 people. So I'm going to have split that into 2 teams. So it's going to be 13 people on a team, and then the one person who sits out, and then 13 people on the other team. So when I do that, I'm just going to count to 13 people, and then the next person is going to sit out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And so he's going to sit out. So he's our median. So he's 65. And now our Q1, remember, is our median of our lower team. So all the numbers before I circled 65, and we just said that that was 13. So I'm going to split them up into 2 teams. Well, I can't split 13 up evenly, so one person's going to sit out. So that would leave 12. So I need to count 6, and then the 7th person is going to be our Q1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then he's going to sit out as our Q1. So 60. And then we're going to do the same thing for the upper team. We're going to count 6, and then the 7th person is going to sit out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So then 60 is going to sit out. Remember, if you end up getting 2 numbers next to each other and you don't know the number that's between them, just add them up and divide by 2. But this one, we don't need to do that. So then we're going to graph it. We need to make sure that we label it. This is the inches. We can start a little bit below the min just to make our life easier. So I'm going to start at 55. And then skip to 60, 65, 70, and then 75. So I can include everybody, make sure they're evenly spaced out. That was a little unevenly spaced out. And I'm going to add my 5 number summary lines. So 58 has a line, 60 has a line, 65 has a line, 68 has a line, and 74 has a line. The middle 3 make our box. And then the last, we draw to our whisker out here. We draw to our whisker out here. Now we should also determine if it's an outlier, but that's what we're going to do in part D. So I'm just going to wait till we get to that part. So Diego's teacher is 80 inches tall. Is he an outlier? So in order to do that, we need to find the IQR, which is Q3 minus Q1. So that's our 68 minus 60, which will give me an 8. And then we multiply that by 1.5. That's just the rule, which will give me 12. So I'm going to take that 12 and I'm going to subtract it from Q1. When I subtract it, that will give me 48. Now, obviously, the teacher is not an outlier for being short, so that number is not really that important. But I do want to add it to the 68. So when I add 12 to the 68, that will give me exactly 80, which means he is not an outlier. He has to be greater than 80. So if he was 80.1 inches, yes. But since he's exactly 80, he is not considered an outlier. All right, so that would be your work. By doing all that, that would be your work. And you would say, no, he's not an outlier because he is not greater than 80 inches. All right, and then the last thing, make a sum plot of the 10 tallest classmates' grades. Don't forget the key. So a sum plot is that line that we split the first digit and the second digit. We start with the lowest number, which is a 4. So we're going to start with 4. And then we go all the way up to our highest number, which is a 90. We're going all the way up to 9. And then we're going to make sure that our leaves, which are the numbers on the right, are in numeric order. So 40 is the only one that has a 4. So that makes it pretty easy. There are no 50s, but we still include the 5. And then 6. There's a 67. Then we write a 7 here. And then 7, we have 73 and 74. So 73 will go first. And then 74. And 73. And 74. And then 80s, I have an 81, an 88, another 81, and an 82. So I need 2 1s I need them evenly spaced out. That's where ones a lot of times get us in trouble, evenly space them out. Then a 2, then an 8. Oops. And then 9s, I have a 3 and a 1. So I start with the 1, 1, and then a 3. All right, and then just double check. There was 10 classmates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have all 10 of them. Don't forget a key. So key. So 4. And then the line 0 represents 40%. So this is their grades. All right, and then the last part, describe the center spread and shape. So this one is skewed left because if you turn your paper sideways, this is how you would draw it. And your tail would be on your left-hand side, so it's skewed left. Skewed left. The center then is the median, which means we need to find our median. So there's 10. We can split 10 in half evenly. We need 5 on each team. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where we divide them up, and the number between 81 and 81 is 81. So the median is 81%. And then the spread, the highest minus the lowest is 93 minus 40, which gives us a spread of 53%. And we are done.